Lead through 3 in Game 4 of the 2020 World Series. Back with Buck Martinez, Matt Vasgersian. Cody Bellinger will lead things off. Rare is the experience of a World Series star to have also been a Little League World Series star. Back in 2007, Cody Bellinger had the same kind of pass, maybe a little more handsy back then, that he does today.
And 10 years after that, he was the Rookie of the League in the National League. Hit 39 home runs. And now he's playing in the World Series once again.
Oh, they grow up so fast, don't they?
Wow.
Bellinger, Pollock, and Taylor. And Ryan Yarbrough continues, very possibly only to get the left-handed batter who leads off, because Ryan Thompson is hot in the Rays' pen. Bellinger popped up in the infield in his first at-bat. The fine athletic grab that Yarbrough made. 1-1.
Yeah, and when Cody hit that home run in Little League World Series, his dad, Clay Bellinger, was a coach on the team as well. That's a tremendous experience for a family. Of course, Clay played in the major leagues with the Yankees.
And Bellinger sends a ground ball to the right side of the infield. He's gone for route number 1, and with it is likely the end of Ryan Yarbrough's night. No move made to the bullpen yet, and Yarbrough will be allowed to continue.
Yeah, it's kind of interesting given A.J. Pollock and his success against left-handed pitching. We had talked about that. Well over 300 against lefties. 4 hits so far given up by Yarbrough. 2 home runs. They damaged Justin Turner in the first, Corey Seager in the third. And that's where we stand here in the bottom of the 4th inning.
You know, we talk about it a lot with regards to Bellinger, how the 2017 postseason, the World Series in particular, was such a bad version of a very good player, and how he's kind of made it his mission to fix what ailed him there, and he has for the most part. Well, you could make the same case for A.J. Pollock. In last year's division series loss to the Washington Nationals, A.J. Pollock was 0 for 13 with 11 strikeouts. I mean, you talk about historically bad. And Pollock, as we know, is a much better player than that miserable stretch would indicate.
Well, and a lot of things go into it. Obviously, the caliber of the pitching you're facing in a postseason series. The adrenaline, the nerves, the excitement of wanting to do so well in a big stage.
1-1 to Pollock is sent out to right field. That could be trouble, and it's just foul in right.
Well, he got jammed and almost ended up with a double down the right field line. That's the area where you want to throw that cutter if you're Yarbrough, and you can see just a matter of inches is it foul.
The more on A.J. Pollock, a Notre Dame man, first rounder by the Diamondbacks when he signed back in 2009. An all-star the season he won his Gold Glove, and he is currently in his 3rd of a 4-year deal in Los Angeles.
9th season in the big leagues, and you know, he had a bounce-back year, no question about it. 16 home runs in a day, 157 games that year. Hit 315, his best season by far.
I mean, I get the batting average is higher against lefties for sure, but look at the homers. Just as many extra base hits. I think it probably just speaks to the Dodgers' depth. It's an opportunity to get Peterson in there at his best. Here's the 1-2. 2 balls and 2 strikes now.
Yeah, I think you're right about that. It's just making sure that you keep everybody as sharp as possible. You don't want anybody sitting for an extended period. And, you know, I think the players understand that. If you're on a team like the Dodgers who have gone to the postseason so frequently, you just understand that you're going to have a particular role.
2 balls and 2 strikes to Pollock. Chris Taylor waiting next. 1 out, bases empty in the 4th. And Pollock sends that into right. That ball is well hit. It'll clear Renfroe and bound off the track. A.J. Pollock on his way into second with a 1-out double.
And there's Jack Peterson, his platoon mate, rooting for him as he gets that double over the head of the right fielder. That's what we mean about a team. It's not a team. They understand that everybody's got a role and they all have to produce if they're going to become champions. Boy, it's a great swing. That pitch was out over the plate and he laced it on the line over Renfroe's head. And kicks away from Renfroe, and Pollock runs so well. It's an easy stand-up double with 1 out. His second double of the postseason.
So right-handed hitter Chris Taylor is scheduled next. I keep waiting for Kevin Cash to come out and take the ball away from Yarbrough.
Yeah, he's checking now to see exactly where Thompson is, and he's going to make the change now. Checking with Stan Borowski, the bullpen coach, and that's going to be it for Yarbrough. With a runner in scoring position and 1 out, they'll match up a righty side armor, Ron Thompson, with Chris Taylor.
Wow, how about this number? First team since 1989, when the Giants were destroyed by the Oakland A's in the Earthquake World Series, to not have a starter go at least 5 in the first 4 games of a series. I can't top of mind remember that Giants staff. I just know that Rick Russell was the game 1 guy, and he didn't last very long.
Well, and it's a product of great at-bats by the Dodgers. They just work those starters so much, so frequently, they have them out of the game.
First, we'll hope that Ryan Thompson can have the same kind of outing that he had in Game 3 when he pitched a perfect 8th inning and blew through the Dodgers on a total of 6 pitches.
Yeah, he picked up a loss against the Yankees in the division series. He lost Game 4 as he was touched up for 2 earned runs in an inning and inning and 2/3. So this will be his 8th appearance. He was an opener for the Rays in that division series game against New York. Lasted just an inning and 2/3. Gave up a home run in that game. But he's got 2 right-handed bats now, a chance to get out of the inning and leave that runner in scoring position. Sinker slider pitcher from that sidearm delivery. He can be tough on right-handed hitters. He got that slider that really breaks away from the righties.
He's got that funky delivery, and I mean, it doesn't take an expert to know how hard that would be for a right-handed hitter to pick up. Brendan Donnelly, Kevin Apier, a similar, real unorthodox path to the plate.
There's that sinking fastball on the inside corner. The bullpen behind Ryan Yarbrough this season, including the postseason, pitched very well. And this is what the Rays try to do. The pitching coach and manager try to contrast the pitcher after Yarbrough. Something different movement. Obviously, right-handed versus the left-handed sinker slider pitcher compared to a left-handed cutter changeup pitcher. Make it difficult for the hitters to make an adjustment.
Yeah, I've dubbed that, and I understand this is a limited reference, as much of my stuff is, but I've dubbed that the Monty Python approach. And now it's time for something completely different. A ball and 2 strikes is the count to Taylor.
And you're going to see something completely different after Thompson. You'll probably see Pete Fairbanks with his 100-mile-an-hour fastball. But that's what they have. They've got a variety of different looks down in that bullpen. And Luke walking around, getting a little bit loose. He has pitched well so far in this postseason.
And boy, oh boy, is he different. Ball and 2 strikes, the count to Taylor. Hernandez next. And did he check it? He did not. Thompson registers the strikeout.
Boy, that inside fastball really keeps hitters honest, and they keep him from diving out to attack this slider. And Taylor tried to check his swing. He clearly went around for the strikeout.
That makes Chris Taylor 3 for 13 with 9 strikeouts in this series. And now it's Kike Hernandez with 2 gone. You know, as versatile and as capable as the Rays bullpen is, and it's regarded as one of the best in all the baseball. I'll hold that thought until we continue as Hernandez sends a ground ball to Brasso that will get Thompson out of the jam. So he cleans up the runner left behind, and there's nothing further in the LA fourth. We go to the bottom of the inning in Arlington. Still 2-0 Dodgers. History to hit a homer in the bottom of the first inning in back-to-back games. And for Corey Seager, it was his 8th postseason home run this postseason, which ties him with Barry Bonds among others. Randy Arozarena on the other side for the most postseason homers in a single year. It is Arozarena that leads off the fourth. He's followed by Mike Brasso and Manuel Margot. 2-0 Dodgers.
What the Rays have to think about now as hitters is you can't get it all back at once. Just have good at bats. Do what you do best. Look for your pitch. Don't try to hit the pitches of Urias. Hit a fastball. That's what Arozarena wants to do. And if you get a fastball, don't miss it. Just like that.
A 95-mile-an-hour fastball that Arozarena sends over the wall for his 9th postseason homer.
What a great swing. 95 miles an hour out over the plate. He's got a lightning quick bat, and he's got power to hit it out to all parts of the field. Most of his home runs in this postseason have been to right center and center. That's the kind of power he has. Not a big guy, but boy, he can put a charge in it.
Brasso sends a drive out to center that's going to dive in. And a single follows the homer. There's a runner at first. So I want to get back to the Arozarena homer, because Julio Urias entering the inning had 12 swings and misses on the 24 seamers that he's thrown. 12 whiffs on the 20 swings, that is. So he felt pretty good about that 4-seamer. Randy Arozarena 7 for 18 with 5 homers against left-handed 4-seamers this postseason. So it was my best against your best, and Arozarena won the battle.
Yeah, and that's how good he has been in this postseason. You see the 12 whiffs tonight using his 4-seamers, most of any outing of his career, because he was able to elevate that 4-seam fastball. You think about the strikeouts of Diaz. He struck him out in the first and in the third. 96 upstairs. He got Brasso the first time. 95 upstairs. Right there, that's the area where he's most effective with that 4-seam fastball. And the one he threw to Arozarena was down and just out over the middle of the plate. This guy's got some pop too. Don't make a mistake to him.
2 balls and a strike to count to Margot.
We got to go back to the Kevin Cash comment about the home run Arozarena hit last night, whether or not it had an impact in a 6-1 game. And he said it absolutely had an impact. It gave us something positive to take home with us after that defeat. And sure enough, Arozarena now has 3 consecutive hits. Home run, single, home run.
I mean, he was literally a one-man wrecking crew in the division and league championship series. If he didn't do what he did, the Rays aren't here.
No question about it. MVP against the Astros.
And a called strike 3 taken by Margot. That's 6 for Julio Urias tonight.
This is such a pretty swing by Arozarena, and we mentioned his power. And you know, that's why he is such a good hitter. He can wait. He doesn't have to commit. He doesn't have to think about pulling the ball out of the ballpark to hit a home run. And
little note for his, I guess, for his child back home.
Daughter in Mexico, of course, and he has a lot of strong feelings about Mexico, where he established himself and eventually would be able to sign a major league contract.
Yeah, that was the route out of Cuba. Played in the Mexican Northern League. Was a star there, won a batting title and a stolen base title. And from there, the $1.25 million contract to join the Cardinals.
I mean, you just think about, everybody talks about the pressure of playing in a postseason. How about the pressure of riding in a boat in 15-foot waves going out of Cuba, as he did, landing in Isla Mujeres off the coast of Mexico? That's pressure.
A ball and a strike. The count to Brandon Lau.
When he was signed by that team, the Toros of Tijuana, he didn't have a glove, he didn't have spikes, he had to borrow it from a teammate to practice and work out. He actually had a connection with the Blue Jays young catcher Alejandro Kirk. They were both playing for that same team in Tijuana.
1-2.
During the wild card series, they took time to take a picture together when they had first met in Tijuana as a couple of youngsters.
Different body types.
A little bit.
I mean, Alejandro Kirk has a different body type than anybody else playing Major League Baseball. But boy, can he hit.
He can really hit.
Urias bounces one. And Brasso's able to advance on the wild pitch.
Now, remember this. We talk about Brandon Lau and his struggles. He hammered a slider his last time up, and it took an athletic catch by Mookie Betts in right. And, here's the catcher getting down on one knee, and I hate this. I'm going to tell you right now. I think it's terrible. You go down on one knee and your lateral movement is restricted because you're down on one knee. And everybody is going to this because they think it gives the catcher an advantage in framing strikes. What's more important, getting a strike or keeping a runner going 90 feet? Now they're trying to get together on which sign set they're going to use. I used to have to remember that. I didn't have a cheat sheet on my forearm.
2 balls and 2 strikes. The count to Lau. Yeah, boy, I tell you, they protect those catchers' cheat sheets like they're the Dead Sea Scrolls. Honestly, I mean, you have to take a look. No chance. I think the Yankees have a guy on the payroll whose job is simply get that off of Gary Sanchez and lock it up in the safe every night. And then you're done. Punch the clock. 2 balls and 2 strikes. The count to Lau. A run in on the homer, runner at second with 1 gone, and Lau can't hold up. 7 for Julio Urias.
Yeah, he threw more of a curve breaker and he gets a strikeout. Watch the break on this pitch. It's 82 miles an hour, a lot slower than his slider. And Lau just can't make contact and can't check his swing. So back-to-back strikeouts. It gets Margot caught looking at a fastball, and Lau commits on that slow curveball.
2 gone now for Willie Adames, who lined to center in his first at bat. So here's a little bit more context on what Randy Arozarena has done this postseason. 9 homers in 71 at bats. The San Diego Padres as a team hit 8 homers in 201 at bats. The whole roster.
Yeah, he's had some run in. There's a ball right to Turner at third.
And that retires the side. 3 solo homers have accounted for all the runs tonight, and finally one comes for the Rays from who else but their record-setting Cuban import Randy Arozarena, who's made it 2-1 Los Angeles.
We are in the TD studio where TD is ready to help you move forward with Justin Morneau and Joe Siddall. Justin, why has Randy Arozarena had such success tonight against Urias?
Well, I think the first at-bat really set up the second one. He was able to get a hit on an 0-2 breaking ball. He proved that he could actually hit that ball, and then I think also the score had something to do with the pitch. But you see his first at-bat here, he fights this off, a little 2-strike hit and just trying to put the ball in play, and then he goes up there aggressive. If the score's not 2-0 and it's 1-0, he may not see a first pitch fastball there, but because it's 2-0, They attack him with the fastball, and he proves that he can hit any fastball in the game to any part of the ballpark, and he did it again.
Otherwise, Joe, Urias has 7 strikeouts through 4. Why so effective?
The curveball for me has been a very special pitch for Urias, and it's because it does a lot of different things and gives hitters very different looks. And you see the breaking ball throughout the postseason for Urias this season, and different breaks, but look at the mile-per-hour range. It ranges from 80 to 85 miles per hour, so you'll see an 80, you'll see an 83 with different breaks. That makes it very difficult on hitters. His curveball is almost more of a slider. He'll go in, he'll backdoor to right-handers, but see the different breaks, different velocities, very difficult. Whether you're a right-handed hitter, maybe a backdoor breaking ball, especially tough on lefties. Brandon Lau has had all kinds of trouble with that pitch tonight, but all of the different looks, it does not allow you to get comfortable with one speed and one break on the pitch. So many different looks, and Urias has been very good with that pitch, coupled, of course, with an excellent mid-90s fastball.
Speaking of very good lefties, look who's on the mound for Game 5 for the Dodgers. Imagine a scenario where Clayton Kershaw has an opportunity to pitch the Dodgers to a World Series championship, their first since 1988. It could come tomorrow, as we presented at 7:30 Eastern, 4:30 Pacific time. We're back to Matt Vasgersian and Buck Martinez.
Now a 2-1 ball game after the Randy Arozarena homer in the bottom half of the 4th. We head to the 5th, and a pitching change for the Tampa Bay Rays. Top of the order scheduled for Los Angeles, and the Rays will turn to their big rookie right-hander, Pete Fairbanks.
Well, Pete Fairbanks is the opposite of Ryan Thompson, who was in the game prior to Fairbanks coming in. This will be his 8th appearance. 270 earned run average. Opponents hitting just over 200 against him. He's given up 8 hits in 10 innings. Got pretty good control for a guy that throws 100. World Series, he pitched in Game 2 through an inning and 2/3 as he gave up a home run to Corey Seager. A leadoff home run in the 8th inning. So he's got top of the order once again.
Yep, Betts, Seager, and Turner here for L.A. And Mookie looking to lift off.
Well, and here's where the contrast really plays in the favor of the Rays. Yarbrough started, the lefty, throws 88, 87, 88 miles an hour. You got the sidearmer Thompson coming out with that big sweeping slider and a sinker ball. And now you got the flamethrower throwing 99 on the first pitch. Tough adjustment for the Dodger hitters. Take a look at Ryan Yarbrough's delivery. The starter in this game, sidearm from the left side. Ryan Thompson comes in and gets 2 big outs and strands a base runner. Sidearm from the right side. Now it's a challenge for the Dodger hitters to pick up the release point of Pete Fairbanks, who's 6'8", comes over the top and throws 100.
0-2 the count to Mookie Betts, who's 0-for-2 so far tonight. See, Zunino wants this 0-2 pitch up. Man, you don't see Mookie Betts swinging through pitches as often as he did there. Good morning, good afternoon, good night. 2 at 99 and 1 to finish him off at 100.
I reached back for a little extra on that 0-2 pitch. Yeah, he really drove it in there. And Mookie Betts is one of the best fastball hitters in the game, especially on inside heaters. He had no chance on that Fairbanks fastball, and that's the release point. The different adjustments the Dodger pitchers have to make. Yarbrough, Thompson from the side, lefty-righty, and then over the top from Pete Fairbanks.
So now Corey Seager, who homered against Fairbanks earlier in the series, and he jumps him on the first pitch for a base hit here and 1 out in the 5th.
This is where Kyle Snyder, the pitching coach for the Rays, really emphasizes to his entire staff. Do what you do best. Use your fastball. Don't worry about pitching to the Dodgers' weaknesses. Pitch to your strengths.
Here's Justin Turner now.